for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing and remember our troops home and abroad. Thank you.
Hey, you.
Village attorney is our parliamentarian. First on the agenda is a public hearing. Let it be open at 7. Franchise agreement with cable television in the village of Highland Falls. Public hearing. Any comments? Yes. What do you got, Mike?
Michael Joyce, member of Village of Highland Falls.
Hang on, is this a public comment or just a public hearing?
Public hearing.
Oh, just a public hearing.
Oh, sorry. I'll keep my comments until I find out where this hearing is going. Thank you. I'll keep my
Wait,
comments to
do you-
comments.
Wait a minute, do you have a comment on the cable agreement?
No.
No. Oh, you guys talked before?
No, I'm just saying. I
No, because usually you would do
Yeah,
comments
no, I
on
understand.
agenda
So
items.
public, so any,
Not a
this is a public
specific,
hearing. Open to the public. Anyone have anything?
Mr. Mayor, if you want to open, you should formally open.
I thought I did.
Need a motion and second.
Oh, the motion to do that, okay. Can I have a motion to open up the public hearing on the franchise agreement?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Raymond, second by DeSalvo, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Any comments? Yes.
Just trying to say something, or should I read the?
No, I'm on the cable?
You're going to explain what's happening with this franchise fee?
Well,
Okay, the question is, I've been paying this franchise fee for years, and we can't seem to get a unit in this building. And is there some part of the franchise fee that should go towards getting this building wired so we can see this on Monday nights?
and so, okay, that's a great question. And so for months, I've been dealing with cable about, and Joe DeWitt is back here. We've been working together because he's trying to get the town system to work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. To be live on Channel 23, we would have to have a studio here. I know, but that's okay. I'm going to talk to the board about it. It's somewhere between $8,000 and $10,000. Then we could be live on Channel 23, just like we used to when we were at the Village Hall. So that's what we're trying to do. That cable, Elisa and I negotiated this for many months. They will not pay for that. We forced them, and man, I tell you what I did, but it didn't work.
They are not required to pay for that, however, they are required, and it is in the franchise agreement, that they would connect their hub here. But once it's connected, then the studio portion of it would be the responsibility of the village.
What does the studio consist of?
Well, that's what
Okay.
the other day I called, this guy's name is Alex, and he's writing me up a list of what it consists of. I have a feeling, and it's really a guess, when he said studio to me, I was like, studio? I don't think it's a studio, like you might think it is. If it is, we could say the town has a studio. All the equipment's in the corner.
Okay.
So that's what I think. It's just that we have to pay for the equipment and be responsible, just like the town is.
Do you get some kind of money from this franchise fee that we've been paying all these
The
years?
village gets 5%.
5%.
Yeah.
And what is that then averaging?
I don't have that amount. I can get it for you, but I don't have it.
So we've been with this,
Why don't you have it?
cable.
We're talking about it.
Yeah. So we've been with this cable company for how many years?
Oh, I only know this cable company, so.
So
a
for
long time.
10 years?
Oh, no, much more, much more.
Much more than 10 years.
don't know.
And every year, we're supposed to be getting a 5% franchise fee from them. I'm not sure what that is. Do you know what that is?
I don't have the number, no.
Okay.
Is it
please.
Did you look into any other possible cable companies coming in here?
FiOS?
Mhm.
But that's not the area. Files is not going to come here.
What about Optimum? They're in Bear Mountain.
Listen, okay, and just so you know, if this is signed, even though it's a 10-year contract, there's a provision.
It's non-exclusive.
It's-
In other
yeah.
words, if Cablevision or FiOS wanted to provide cable to the village would be required to accommodate them.
So what's the purpose of that 10-year contract? If it's a non-inclusive, we can go with anyone.
Yeah, why have a contract?
Why have a contract? Yeah, why
Because
have
right now, my understanding is Spectrum is the only provider that has offered to provide cable to the village.
They're not amazing.
For example, I live in Tuxedo, FiOS will not come to Tuxedo. Tuxedo only has Cablevision because Tuxedo's only been approached by Cablevision and has, even though it's asked for other proposals.
Well, it just seems unnecessary to hold us to a contract if they're the only game in town. So we seem like, we are gonna go with them, so why do we have to sign a contract that says 10 years?
Because it's a contract, and without the contract, arguably they could leave the village.
But they're business people, they're gonna say goodbye to all this money
Okay,
in the village.
any other public comment on the cable?
I think people are saying that they're unhappy that we don't even have Channel 23 for the senior citizens who are used to seeing the public meetings through there. We can't even get that, and here we are, obligating ourselves to a 10-year contract with this particular cable company. I myself don't understand it. I read through the contract. I don't understand why we have to sign a 10-year contract if they're the only ones who are actually offering to come here, and if it's a non-exclusive agreement. If it's a non-exclusive agreement, it seems like, and we can work with other companies anytime we want despite the contract. Why have a contract? But, okay.
Okay.
I saw what you sent on email, Elise. You said that you tried to negotiate a lower number of years, maybe 5 years, but that other places have done only a minimum of 8 years. So that's probably the lowest we can go, a contract instead of a 10. I think you mentioned other things in your email about it.
I would just note that this contract has to be approved by the Public Service Commission anyway. If we go, I've already negotiated from a 15-year to a 10-year, and that is, if you look at telecommunications companies like Cablevision, like Spectrum, like Charter, like many of them, they all want long contracts, and the reason they want long contracts, according to them, is that they are investing in the infrastructure. The other thing to note is that they have to, by law, start negotiating or notice the village 3 years before the contract has to be renewed. So a 5-year contract, a 3-year contract is pointless because they would just have to turn around and start negotiating the next one. 8 years is the lowest they've ever had approved either by their headquarters or by the PSC. I can certainly go back and demand an 8-year contract. They would have to run that up to the flag, so to speak. In the meantime, in this contract, as in the last contract, they are obligated under law to provide a connection from their hub to this place of meeting for no cost to the village. However, of course, and they can do that. The problem is that then the village would have to invest in the equipment that would be necessary, and that's certainly something the village can do if the board approves that.
Okay,
Okay.
Well, so the other thing that I would say, I would like to know what franchise fee we've been getting from them by signing a contract this long, right? And number two, it does seem like we can actually connect to YouTube streaming live without a 10-year contract. I think it started working for the town. There were a few glitches. That's what Mr. DeWitt has been working on that. But it just seems like it's easier to provide the service we can for the people without obligating ourselves to a decade-long contract. I mean, even
I find that
Yeah,
one
I don't know.
has, is that I don't think, you're mixing things up. And as far as live stream, that doesn't, if I'm right, Joe, if I'm right, that doesn't put us on channel 23.
No.
So
YouTube.
the issue is, the best scenario is to be on channel 23. So some of these folks can stay home, or not, or come. But live stream, it does not do that. I wanted to ask the board, do you want to go back to the village hall? The problem is that room doesn't fit this amount of people. So there we're on channel 23. You don't have to do anything except work with the town to fix the system. We haven't passed the budget yet. We're still looking at it. I'm going to try to find the money to, as they go up, put a studio here. So then we're on channel 23.
And live stream, right?
Yeah.
We're looking to do both, just so you know.
Could
Go ahead.
they have the meetings down at town hall where they have all the stuff already set up?
That's been suggested. I would assume the answer is yes. There'll be some conflicts sometimes, but not a major obstacle. You can work around meetings, you know. But the answer to your question is yes.
And Councilman DeWitt, there are issues with the feed down there, the past couple of meetings. True?
With
Yeah,
channel
they-
23.
With your cable 23.
Yeah, yeah.
they're
No,
working on
right? So, and do you know, were you on the board when you all signed with a contract like this?
What, with Spectrum?
Yes.
We just renewed it as well.
So the town has done it as well, and it was 10 years, I'm gonna hazard a guess, right?
Yeah, as far as I know. Like you said,
There's
it's not,
really only-
it's not,
there's really
it's not an
only two-
exclusive contract. I mean, it's just a
Yeah.
guarantee service by the company to make sure Spectrum doesn't pull out, just like.
Absolutely. It's more
That's
that
what
way,
you're saying, yeah.
and that's more protection for us. There's
That's right.
really only, and I'll probably be proven wrong on this, there's only two issues in the contract that it's the 10 years, or 15 or 8, and it doesn't seem like, it seems like 10, and the franchise part that comes to the village. We're trying to find the figure now.
Yeah, where do you spend that money, that 5% that
It
comes
goes
in?
into the, we'll go into the general budget, right? General, goes into the budget.
Part of a revenue.
And
Like
it
a
gets
weapon.
lost,
Oh, here, franchise.
Yeah.
it gets lost in the general fund?
Lost?
Yeah,
How would it get lost?
well, it's get all tied up, you can't keep a track of what's going in, how much, but
Really?
whether it's all compliant.
Really? That's not right, Mike.
Do you have an
He's going to give
itemized?
you the figure now.
Of course.
Oh,
It didn't get, it's not, this is not a shell game. There's actually a specific line.
It's not a
There's
shell
actually a
game?
specific line for the franchise. Here it is.
They have reason to
In the
ask.
in the revenues, we have a list for franchises, and we have $70,000 coming in as a revenue. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that's just Time Warner Cable, or if it's other franchise fees, but I can, if you guys want to keep talking, and I can get back to you, but right now, as a revenue side, we show $70,000.
Well, if that's
Just-
coming back from that
Just on
5%,
the time.
why
on
isn't
the
that
Time
money
Warner.
used to quote, put in studio?
Exactly.
I don't think anybody said we would. I don't think anybody said we would use
If
those.
it goes into the general fund, which is where it goes, the studio would be paid out of general fund.
It's interesting that you used the term shell game. I never thought of it.
Yeah. No, I got that from Melanie a few minutes.
I didn't,
That's
not right.
I didn't
That's
hear
not right.
Melanie saying it. I never heard Melanie saying it.
I'm just repeating him.
Oh, that's not right.
Shell game didn't come from me.
I said it's not a show, that's okay.
I said it is a shell game. It's on
Go
video.
ahead. This young lady's trying to
She
talk.
said it is, I said it isn't.
So by the next meeting, could we perhaps have an estimate together of what it would actually cost? And
Yeah,
what we
I'm
need
trying, I'm
do
trying to
in
get that
order
from, I'm trying to get that
to
from
make that
cable.
work? Okay,
For the equipment.
yes.
Yeah, I talk to them twice a week. I'll get it.
Is that 10,000 a one-time cost?
Yes.
Yeah,
We don't have to do maintenance of the equipment, we don't have to do replacement of it?
well, right now, the reason the town, Channel 23, sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, is because of the equipment, and it's the town's responsibility to fix whatever's wrong.
And Spectrum so far will not offer us any
Yeah,
technical support.
Yeah,
Which I was gonna ask you now, if you found an engineer. I have not had such luck with a few people I've read out. It's an antiquated system, and Spectrum, you would think would have some kind of tech engineer to make available, even if we had to pay them, and
Right,
they do
right.
not.
yeah.
Is that
So-
right? So this contract doesn't provide that technical
It
support
does not.
when you need it?
Whatever's
provides
wrong-
money.
Yeah.
Wait, Joe, let's make sure we say this correct. What happens to be wrong with the town's equipment happens to be, according to cable, their responsibility to fix. But there's other things cable would. I don't know,
I'm sure.
you know.
To really quick and not beat the storm, village system goes to the town hall, it's processing, things that do the video magic, there's modulators, etc. And then it goes up to a box on Mountain Avenue. From that box, it shoots out to Middletown somewhere, or wherever their head end is, gets processed, and then gets re-put out on the signal, on the cable signal. So there's either, I know Bob lives, he's been at that box on Mountain Avenue to try to figure out if there's a technical problem there. And then we're trying to find an engineer to come in and check our antiquated modulators and everything that create the TV signal. It's been daunting, and like I said, Spectrum provides us money. In the meantime, like I said, as the mayor said, we're both, the town and the village are trying to also broadcast on YouTube. And it's as good as done. As soon as I get the bugs out, I'm gonna share with the village the technology that I purchased to make the town work, and it should work, like I said, we just had a little glitch on it last Monday. And then at least anybody can watch it that has a computer and download YouTube, and it's free. And it's really easy.
Believe it or not, we've been working on this for 2 months.
Yeah,
Right, so it sounds like there's an alternative. Okay, there's an alternative that's cheaper if we don't sign up with the cable company. And one more question, Elise, if we don't renew the contract, what happens?
Well, according to Cablevision, they will continue under the old contract, but I don't know what that means in terms of continuing to maintain the infrastructure or, for example, connect to this building. I don't know what that means.
Okay, so if we don't sign the contract, they're gonna continue with the old contract, but we don't know what it means to the infrastructure. Okay.
Can I make a recommendation real quick? If you go down the route of putting a studio in here, okay, you have to basically have the budget to the reserves. Make sure every 3 to 5 years, whenever equipment comes in, say you get it in next year, you have to have the money to pay for upgrades 3 to 5 years after you get that
That's
equipment.
probably what's happening now.
Because technology grows at a geometric rate, and the stuff you buy tomorrow is gonna be antiquated 5 years from now. I'm sure we all have laptop computers we bought 5 years ago, you gotta update them now, because it's already old technology. So if you go down that route, you have to budget in for the reserve, that cash, to upgrade that stuff. And that technology expenses goes up and up and up every year. So
And you're saying that if we're in a contract, that those upgrades are free?
I doubt it, because I doubt it.
I think what you're saying is the equipment that is located here, for example, which is the village's responsibility, is the village's responsibility. And
Yeah.
as
You
you
have to
say,
upgrade that every 3 to 5 years to keep pace with technology. You have to, or else the system's not gonna work as it is intended to 5 years from now.
for example,
It's a recommendation.
Spectrum upgrades their portion of the equipment that they're responsible for under the contract. And they keep it up to date.
You have to have a maintenance and just to go tail behind everything that's on, you have to have it, or else
All right,
you're set yourself in the foot.
so, yes,
What have we done to bring in competition? So there's
Uh,
more than one?
I've tried to get FiOS. I was telling a couple of people before, I worked on it for quite a while, but FiOS for some reason would have to come from Haverstraw over the mountain. And they won't spend the money to get it here.
Because they don't think we're big enough.
So that's one
They're
thing.
not gonna make any money, that's why FiOS doesn't want to do it.
What about besides fires?
I'm pretty sure you can get FiOS or Dish or, can you get FiOS?
Only Dish
No
or
FiOS.
Fios.
You don't have to go with Spectrum.
Spectrum monopolize all these lines. They own all of these lines, all these lines.
Mr. DeWitt, not to put you on the spot, but was there any issue from the board down on this, on their agreement, on their 10-year agreement? Anything come up that you could, anything that you hear tonight that came up?
As far as I know, it's just
Pretty routine, right?
boilerplate, just to keep them in the community. Like I said, and like you just said, Jim, it's cable companies look at the expense of wiring up a town, and they don't want to spend the money for 5,000 residents. I'm curious at West Point, I can't imagine that the military base doesn't have some kind of fiber optic connection to the outside world.
They do.
And why can't we plug into that trunk too, or is it exclusive to the military? Which is why I want fiber.
Fiber, I know, fiber optic, actually, if I'm saying this right, because this is not my, expertise.
I'll help you, Stu.
But fiber optic, like we have fiber optic, a dedicated line through a company called Lighthouse, I believe, to the bank. And then I also believe that same company has provided a fiber. I think it's more for data. I don't know if it's.
It probably is just.
Yeah, so it's just for data. So you can have a company just come in for data, which is probably why we don't really rely on Spectrum only for a backup. So if the fiber optic dropped, then the Spectrum would provide a backup. But that's for housing large amounts of data. So they don't really probably need another company to come in, because this Lighthouse company is it's a separate company that just deals in heavy amounts of traffic on their lines, and it is a hard line. So that may answer why there's not a big change to a different company for data purposes, meaning like West Point or any of the bigger municipal buildings or anywhere there was heavy amounts of data. So that may be on that side. So for the TV and phone side, unfortunately, it's like a minimum. So we either have a minimum of Spectrum, and that's why the town, I believe, moved forward with it, or we don't. And to say we shouldn't or not to have it, sounds like because of the Federal Cable Communications Policy Act of 1984, sounds like they can continue anyway. So if we don't agree to the contract, and they continue to move forward, do we lose the revenue stream? Will they hook up to the building? Will that cause a problem for the town? I don't know. So to me, as a minimum, as we've done in the past, as the town just did, I think we should probably move forward on it. And we could always, I don't think there's a problem with spending the money to get this room, whatever we need to televise. We can use franchise funds that we get in. And if we need to make upgrades 2, 4, 5 years down the road, those funds are going to be here. And I don't think it's a problem to use it to keep it updated. I don't have a problem with going live stream, but there's some folks that probably don't use live stream, so I don't want to, alienate those folks. So I think we'll probably end up with both at some point, but I think, to follow suit with what the town did, I think it would behoove us to move forward, at least at this time.
Yes.
First, do you know in 35 years I've never spoken at a public hearing in this town? Never, ever. First comment.
This is historical.
This is historical. 3 people in my house work from home a good chunk of the time, and Spectrum is what we use. So because Verizon is awful in Highland Falls in those cases, please just don't mess around and make them mad so they don't do upgrades and don't have service here, because then we'd all be in deep trouble.
Thank you. Good point. Yes.
I don't know if it's possible, but if you investigated Starlink, you get broadcast over Zoom and YouTube, it would be archived and people could watch it live and archived.
Joe, you know about that?
Starlink doesn't need any cables.
Well, we couldn't be on channel 23.
Pardon?
Look, both the village and the town are gonna both have full YouTube accounts, which with unlimited streaming capability and all that. We're just gonna finally tap into it and use it. It's there, just we haven't fully tapped into it yet.
You don't tap into Starlink, you have to have a
Well, YouTube's gonna work fine. Why do we need Starlink? Why can't we just use YouTube?
no, you can use YouTube, it sounds like you've got an issue with Spectrum. It sounds like you've got a connection
No,
problem.
there's no
Not,
issue.
not with YouTube.
Like you said, we're gonna try to fix channel 23, but in the meantime, we wanna get our live streaming capability rock solid for both the village and the town. That way, anybody that's got a computer's got access immediately live from, no matter where we do meetings from.
Okay, I think, you know, we just need real data. How much are we paying? How much are we getting back, okay, in this 10-year contract? Right now, I'm looking at the bills, and it looks like we're only paying Charter Communications $1,354 every 2 weeks, okay? So that looks to me just, you know, $2,600 a month for all of the services for Charter. But I don't believe that that could be true if we're getting $70,000 back in franchise. So maybe what we need to tell the people is how much are we gonna pay per year if we sign this contract? How much of that are we gonna get back? And what kind of upgrades, free upgrades are we gonna get if we signed on with them? Maybe that's a better way to present it to the public instead of just guessing, you know, how much we're paying, how much we're getting back, what are we getting with this 10-year contract. But I am very glad that people are involved and they have questions as if this is going to their own homes, right? You don't sign a 10-year contract if it's going to your own house, so they're just saying, you know, what are we getting for this?
So, real quick, just to answer that real quick, some of it, you know, we do have different Time Warner cable hookups, so we do get charged for different internet access, just like any homeowner would or any business would. Again, we have in our revenue line a line that says $70,000 for franchises. I'll have a better number of exactly what it is just for Time Warner cable, but even if we paid, and in this current bills and claims that we're going to pay today, it was for the month of, I don't believe it was 2 weeks. So
Is that for the month? Okay.
yeah, so it's $13.54. Even if we did pay that every month, it still would be beneficial for us to go
I mean, that
forward.
would be a good deal, I agree.
And then if you took, even if the number is 75,000, even if it's 35,000, let's take half of 75. In 10 years, do the math. So,
Yeah, maybe we just need to give people the right numbers, and then it's an easy decision, right?
At the next meeting, I'll have that we collect 5% of everyone's bills. I'll have that exact amount.
Okay.
I would just note that, I believe they do have to go to PSC for approval of this contract when the village signs it. It's not, so I think there is some urgency since this has been around. And even if you had Cablevision or someone else, the village would be paying for its internet service,
yeah,
just like everybody does.
right.
Yes.
It just sounds to me, quite naively, that we have no leverage with Spectrum. They're holding all the cards. So we're arguing about a contract, but we have no leverage.
You're not wrong.
So, it sounds to me as though rather pro forma to argue about it. If we need the service, we're going to have to sign for it. I don't like being in that position. I think it makes it difficult to serve your public if you can't have some strength at the bargaining table.
Right.
They're the only provider that provides certain services.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If they're the only ones providing, we're kind of, our hands are tied.
Any other comments?
Well, I got one more thing to say. If we don't know how much Warner, that's how come back on. Spectrum, is getting $3 and some cents. Yeah, every month from me. And I did call them, I called Spectrum, I said, what the heck are you doing with that money? We can't get 23's been out for a month, remember I was out for a month in January or something. And I said, do we get a refund on that? $3, like, okay. But I'm thinking if the franchise money that you're getting is 70,000.
But that's for franchises, that's plural.
Yes, yeah, but,
Let's
so they
wait.
must be getting a lot of money
Yeah,
from Hamden
yeah,
Falls.
yeah.
If
Yeah.
that's 5%.
I want that broken down. Time Warner gets this, Spectrum gets that.
Right.
I'd
So,
like to see
where's
it
it going?
itemized.
So the issue with channel 23 though is not cable.
On the shelves.
It's an in-house issue. But, well taken. Okay, there was one more hand, then I'll.
And then they charge me more.
Oh, because you complain? I go up there and
You know, you get it in the back.
I go up in person every month and I pay it, and I ask them and ask them and ask them, what can you do? And it's just like you said, you're handcuffed. It's unfortunate. Although there was the Affordable Connectivity Program, did you all sign up for that? No? So,
I'm
it's,
not doing that.
no, it's okay. It took me probably a year and a half after they actually came out with this program. It's the ACP. And right now at Congress, they are wondering if they're gonna put that back into their budget that they're working on. And it actually shaves $30 off the bill, the federal government pays for it.
No, you just pay for it out of a different.
Of course, yeah. We're giving the federal government this. But the point is, there is that ACP out there, ladies, and if you call tomorrow and ask them to at least give it to you until it goes away, they should be able to shave $30 off.
Who do you call that?
Spectrum, absolutely. ACP.
Yes. Did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I really am not convinced that enough homework has been done on competitors or other contracts, and I really think we need to look into that further before we make a decision.
Okay, so we can have comparison. I think that would be a
When
good
we
idea.
have competition, I think these carriers will be more prompt to have updated equipment too. That's another incentive.
I think we can still have competition because this is non-exclusive. And it's a great point that you're making. And like the mayor has said, and I know almost 6 years ago, I had asked all these same questions about that. And especially about the files and high-speed internet coming in. And it's a hard road, for sure, but it's not something that we should have stopped. We still need to look at it. And this doesn't lock us in exclusively. We can have maybe other companies come in and see what they can do for us as well and get a contract with them.
But we should have that information in front of us to compare with this now.
First, before we sign a contract, what's the harm in getting other bids? See what they offer.
If they will come in. If they don't come in,
Nobody's
we
blocking
don't
coming in.
come.
Okay, door's open, nobody wants to walk through it.
Anyway, I think what she needs
Door's
is,
open, door's open.
I think what she needs is,
Nothing to do.
Jim, you
Don't wanna
said,
walk through it?
you said that five optics didn't want to feel great for Robin, but they didn't have jobs.
I said.
You said that, all right. So, is it on paper or to show, like, who said that? Somebody from Rodney, is it like?
Someone from Fire.
Rodney. Somebody's agreed on paper, but they don't want to do it, you know, we get contact.
I don't have
ask them. I think that's what she needs. That could have
Actual bid.
Any other comments? No? Could I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I need this back.
So, I'm going to read a resolution. Large of comments were made. I wrote half a dozen of them down. Some of them, we'll give you the answers at the next meeting. We don't have it in front of us.
Before we do the resolutions, could we table this till the next meeting.
That's what you
Do
want
we
to
have
do?
time? Do we have time? This is
I
fine.
would recommend that the
Yeah.
board have tonight.
Okay.
Again, it's not exclusive. I would also note, just for the record, that there was much of the contract that actually wasn't negotiated, language that I think is appropriate, and in many cases, the language was changed to more favor the village. And you should be aware of that because I've sent all those updates to the board. I would also note for the record that the policy itself of 5%, it could have been lower. 5% is the maximum under the federal rules that can be paid to a municipal post. So again, my recommendation, because Spectrum does have to get this approved by the Public Service Commission, also if they're going to run a line into this building for Channel 23 as they're required to do, that takes several months. So a delay would only delay that if the board wishes for that to be done. And again, this is not exclusive. If the board wanted to go out tomorrow with requests for proposal for competitive services, they could do that. This doesn't prevent that at all. It just maintains the status quo of the service that the municipality and the individuals who live here are getting right now.
So it is time sensitive, that's what
It's
I'm
time
grabbing.
sensitive.
And it will lock us into the franchise fees that we're getting now.
Well, she's saying it's time sensitive for them to run a line here.
I'm saying that if it's time sensitive for Spectrum, we have to go up the ladder to get this approved. So they're under a time schedule. Remember, they had to notify this village 3 years ago. Wait, this has been now, there hasn't really been a contract in place.
Okay.
So it's time sensitive to them. It's time sensitive to the village in that the longer it's delayed, the longer it would be for them to start the process of connecting to this hall, if that's what the village wants it to do. So
You would close the public hearing.
you did close the public hearing.
Elise, would you read the resolution, please?
In the matter of granting a cable television franchise held by Spectrum Northeast LLC in the village of Highland Falls, County of Orange, New York, resolution. An application has
Can
been
you speak up?
made to the Board of Trustees
Can't hear you.
Are they recording
of
all
the
that?
village
Is
of
it?
Highland Falls, County of Orange, New York, by Spectrum Northeast LLC, an indirect subsidiary of Charter Communications, a limited liability company organized and existing in good standing under the laws of the state of Delaware, doing business at 2604 Seneca Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York, for the approval of a renewal agreement for Charter's cable television franchise for 10 years, commencing with the date of approval by the Public Services Commission. The franchise renewal agreement would bring the franchise into conformity with certain provisions of the Federal Cable Communications Policy Act of 1984 as amended and certain court rulings. A public hearing was held in the village of Highland Falls on March 18, 2024 at 7 p.m. The notice of hearing was duly published. Now therefore, the Board of Trustees of the Village of Highland Falls finds that, first, Spectrum Northeast LLC has substantially complied with the material terms and conditions of its existing franchise and with applicable law. Two, Spectrum Northeast LLC has the financial, legal, and technical ability to provide these services, facilities, and interests and equipment as set forth in the attached agreement. Spectrum Northeast LLC can reasonably meet the future cable-related community needs and interests, taking into account the cost of meeting such needs and interests. Be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Highland Falls hereby grants the cable television franchise of Spectrum Northeast LLC and the Village of Highland Falls for 10 years commencing with the date of approval by the PSC and expire 10 years hence. And I put that in the form of a motion for someone to bring forward.
Well, you know how to
Okay, I have a motion.
I'll make the motion, based on it being on,
You didn't hear the people's comment?
No.
Okay, I have a second.
Second.
Second. May I
It
have
just
roll call?
doesn't make sense. Half the people just said
Just
they
we were
want more
arguing.
data.
Yeah.
They
Yes,
want more
and they just want to
information.
pass it.
That's what the public hearing is about.
You work for
No,
us.
the answer is no. It's not
You
that.
work for
This is
us.
not
May I have
your
roll
court
call?
question. This is not your
May
court
I have
question,
roll call?
okay?
Trustee Guerrero?
No, the people said they
Go
want
ahead,
more
keep going.
data.
Yes.
Trustee Ramos?
yes.
Trustee Carroll?
Remember these people.
Yes.
Remember the
these
people.
Yes.
Remember these people.
Yes, motion carries, thank you.
Okay,
We won't
You,
forget.
you work for us.
what is
You
the
work
point?
for us.
May I?
They're running.
Public
You
comment?
work
With a
for
show
us.
of hands, how many people would like to
Public
see it
comment on
differently?
agenda item.
Different. How many people would like to see it different? Raise your hands. Come on.
At least know what's
Come
out
on.
there. At least know what's out there.
Public comment on agenda items. Yes.
This is so wrong.
Oh, goodness.
This is so wrong. Democracy?
Michael Joyce, a member of the village, Flint Falls. It's very enlightening going to budget meetings. And I think it was one of the first on the police. And, you know, going through the expenditure, you just have to sit there like a wallflower, and they do their thing, which is fine, but you learn, you kind of grasp things. During that meeting, Trustee Guerrero happened to mention that we should be more, you know, prudent with taxpayer money. And besides thinking about raising taxes, maybe look in-house first. And she happened to mention, you know, 4911 versus 911, because we're paying for both of them. Actually, we're paying, I think, $500,000 for 4911. Now, look, I've been in the unions, I've lost my job, and I had to make tough decisions. This board has got to make tough decisions. Now, maybe the increases that are coming don't have to be as high if we get rid of 4911, which will not jeopardize boots on the ground. Because we're talking about dispatch, which is covered by Orange County 911. And when Trustee Guerrero happened to mention it with the commissary, I believe, and I can stand corrected, that a head of lettuce was $3. And I just want to point this out, that the way certain people on the board think, Trustee Ramos said, well, I can buy a bag of seeds, and I can grow lettuce all year round. So when your taxes go up, Trustee Ramos, all those people that are 70 to 90, he's going to supply them with a shovel and a bag of seeds. Likewise, you judge a society by the way they treat their old and their young. You will be judged. If not on this planet, the hereafter, but you will be judged. And for a comment at the end of last meeting from Trustee DeSalvo saying, well, if there are certain people that are making choices between food and medicine and paying taxes, well, they can go with their cap in hand to the village hall, and he will guide them to a food bank.
That's not what I said.
Excuse me, that's what you said.
That's a lie.
He expects these proud individuals who have worked hard all their lives, because he will not cut 4911, because he's for the police, and I believe, and this is my own personal opinion, that's his base for getting re-elected. So he's putting power before the old in this community.
Sound like a bitter candidate.
No, because I tell you, if I was here,
Yeah.
I would make that tough decision. And that's right, so I'm expecting you to make it,
I know. That's why-
not pass on 7%.
How do you know 7%?
You said that last time.
Yeah.
I said,
Budget will
You
be-
said you were looking at
I said maybe.
double numbers, and then, oh my God, it's a blessing, we will knock it down to 7%,
Right, tentatively.
real estate tax.
Yeah, tentatively.
With a 32% on the water, with its own separate heading, that won't affect the sewer bill?
Mike, can you do me a favor?
I'm gonna end it this way.
First of all.
A
this
group
comes on
of
the
people
agenda.
get judged by the way they treat their old and their young.
Just let him finish.
It's not
Just
on the agenda.
remember,
Yes.
it is,
Nothing on the agenda.
there's budget items on the agenda.
That was good. Dr. Guy, on the agenda, you have to approve a couple of things that the insurance is needed. The board routinely puts in the budget a significant amount of money for celebrations. So these organizations like St. Patrick's Day Parade, Juneteenth, United Highlands Youth, whoever it might be, have to come up with money to pay for the insurance. Why is the village paying for the insurance out of that significant money that you put in the budget for celebrations?
Most of that celebration goes, if I'm right, to the 4th of July. The village, I had just gotten this email a couple hours ago. We are requesting that insurance be the village. So, we talked to the village attorney before the meeting started quickly because I had just gotten this. And I'm going to call NICOM tomorrow to make sure that we can do this. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. And like tomorrow, at the Highlanders meeting, we need insurance. The Highlanders uses this hall. The insurance is going to be just shy of $800. Should we ask the village to pay for that? I mean, where do we stop? Where do we stop? You know, and if anything, all due respect, I say this with respect, Joe, a lot of these events are town-wide. So if the town, and they do sometimes, I think they do sometimes, provide the insurance, because it's town-wide. You know, we're not gonna say at the Easter Bunny, well, if you live in Fort Montgomery, you can't talk to the Easter Bunny. You know, there's gonna be kids there from all over the place. So this should be, if it's legal, this should be a town-wide expense.
I'm not gonna disagree.
If the town wants to do it.
I'm not gonna disagree.
Thank you, I appreciate that. If the town wants to do it, and lately they have been doing, so I'm guessing that they would do it. And what I mean by would do it, it's gonna be everything now. No one's gonna wanna provide insurance.
Again, if it's somebody who actually makes money, then yeah, they should pay insurance. But if it's a group that's not making money,
No, well, I understand. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Well,
Yes.
it's not even that. Like you said, we have a line item on the budget, taxpayers pay for $12,000 a year to $17,000 a year for celebrations. And all of that, like you said, just goes to 4th of July. Why?
Yeah.
There are other things to celebrate. There's Martin Luther King, there's the holiday hop,
There's the
there's
raising of the
the
Greek flag, the
Patrick's,
Irish
St.
flag,
Patrick's,
all those
there's
things should have
Juneteenth.
insurance.
I think all of those should be under that $12,000 to $17,000 instead of just one celebration. It should be all those
Yes.
celebrations that the community. So it should be divided amongst them and not just on a 4th of July 3-day celebration. I agree.
Like I said to you, I'm going to call NICOM. I just got this. I want to make sure, first of all, can we do it and do we want to do it? Because I don't want the Highlanders tomorrow. You talk about not having any money.
I'm not saying that that's not, again, they don't generate money. This is not a not-for-profit which can generate money.
And again, it should be, in my opinion, I think there's an argument, not an argument like that goes on here, but there's an argument to be made that it should be town-wide.
Again, if it includes the entire town, yeah.
That's right. I appreciate that, yes.
I would just note for the record that there is a policy and a practice by this board not to pay for insurance, as I recall. I could be wrong, but I think your general practice had been not to pay for insurance. The question then becomes, if you begin to pay for insurance for certain events, then, as the mayor said, where do you draw the line? I would recommend that if you're going to do that, the board make a new policy to determine when it pays and when it doesn't. If it's simply, for example, a not-for-profit, what if it's a not-for-profit that has nothing to do with the village, but they're a not-for-profit?
I think,
So
so for the 3 days.
So I would just say that you have an established pattern of practice. If you're going to change that, then you need to consider what the new pattern of practice should be and what the cost would be associated with that. And I do think it's a good idea to speak with not just NICOM, but do you get your insurance through NICOM? The village has insurance through.
Yeah, we have it, just CL,
CLG.
yeah.
Okay, so call CLG and see what their applicable rules might be if you're going to start providing insurance for outside groups.
So for 4th of July celebrations, what kind of insurance do we use for that?
The 4th of July provides insurance.
4th of July provides insurance. 4th of July meaning the taxpayers.
No.
The taxpayers
No,
are
excuse me,
paying?
the 4th of July is not government related, it's like,
There's a 4th of July committee,
Right.
and then there's a line item that the taxpayers pay for.
that's right,
$12,000
That's right.
a year for
Yep.
4th of July.
that's correct.
So you're saying that $12,000 does not pay for insurance, but somebody
It
else?
it goes directly, and the vouchers, if you went back, you can go down to Village Hall and get them, directly go for fireworks.
For
It's not like
fireworks.
anything, it's not like for a band or canoe races, or, it's to help offset, it does not even cover the fireworks. But
So, yeah, why can't it be divided among all the other celebratory things that the people are interested in? Like Juneteenth, like Christmas parade, like holiday
well,
hop,
we can
like
talk about that.
MLK. Why does it all have to go into one celebration? That's their money. They're interested in other things other than 4th of July, but I love it.
4th of July, you do?
Oh, yeah.
4th of July is the village's signature
I'm a
event.
veteran, you know.
You don't have to be a veteran to love the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna,
Here.
agenda item?
Yes. These should be easy, but on these meetings, nothing is easy.
Although, I'm sorry, could you just announce your name and address for the record?
Address to, you didn't ask anybody else, but you sing on behalf.
Everyone should actually.
Oh, but you
That
didn't ask
Mr.
nobody
Ryan,
else.
I think Mr. Joyce.
That, just say.
stated his
Falls.
name.
My name is Pablo, 13 Netherlands Street, beautiful Highland Falls.
Thank you.
Got it? Thank you. Okay, this should be easy. This
I
is,
apologize, that's rude.
No, that's not rude at all.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I was the
Go
only
ahead.
one that been asked this, nobody else was asked, right?
He's right.
Yes,
Okay?
he's
It's
right,
fine.
correct.
Alright.
Yeah, you found the one.
So,
What's right?
please, what is even is even. What is good for the goose is good for the turkey, okay? Whatever. Okay, this is about approving the following minutes from the last meeting. I just want to double check something on the last meeting. On the 24 minute of the last meeting on 3/4/24, Mrs. DeSalvo made a comment. And I want to just double check that his comment is correct. That's all. That's all. Because me being a person that spent 32 years in Highland Falls, I deserve my, what do you ask about?
He's getting there, he's talking about the minutes.
Do I need an interpreter?
Let him, yes, because
Well,
you don't let him finish.
we'd like everybody to pay attention to what you say, but you don't pay attention to what everybody else says.
I'm asking you what, I don't.
I'm talking about the minutes from the last meeting. And
What's the date?
3/4/24. 3/4/24.
Okay.
On the
There was
24
a regular
meeting.
and a special meeting.
In the, no, it wasn't a special meeting, it was a regular meeting.
Okay,
March 4th, right?
Yes.
all
On
right.
the 24 minute of that meeting, Mrs. Salvo say something, so I want to just elaborate on that and ask you again. Is that right that you say, when I retire, the village insurance becomes my secondary insurance? Yes or no?
I'm not sure what I said.
No, you said
Hold
it.
on, because I'd have to see the video, but I believe your insurance is covered per your current premium since you retired to the age of 65.
Yes, and after that, the Medicare kicks in.
Correct.
So
And then
the
you have-
village insurance becomes the secondary insurance.
I'm not sure about that. I am saying that your insurance, you said at a meeting that you don't have insurance. Or someone said at the meeting, he
No.
doesn't have insurance.
We have it on a video, we
Hold
have it
hold on
on
a second.
record.
Wow, can I?
Okay,
can I
sure,
turn it?
go ahead, sorry.
Either you said it or somebody said it on the board, we were trying to make a stand saying, I worked 33 years here and I don't have insurance. I said, well, hold on a second. I said, you do have insurance up to the age of 65. Right now, you'll have to continue paying the current premium that you're paying when you left your, whatever day you left, exactly what you pay then is what you pay until 65. Per the current contract, which you guys signed off on, I believe at the age of 65, when you are getting Medicare, you would have to get a secondary.
Yeah, the village insurance becomes a secondary.
I
Because
don't-
30 people, including Mr. Donofrio, gets it.
I don't,
So everybody else
that
gets
part I'm
it.
not.
It's only 2 people that don't get it. I feel like being singled out for not getting it. Why? I don't know. That is why I keep pushing this point. But I just wanted to make sure that what you said is right.
Well, I'm saying to you right now that I am pretty sure I did not say it's your secondary.
Yes.
Per the contract right now, Pablo, per the contract right now, it states, if everybody in the DPW decided to retire tomorrow, they'd be in the same position you'd be in.
No, because you only have 3 part-timers and 2 full-timers. Part-timers don't get no benefits. You don't pay no benefit for the part-timers.
I can't, you won't let me finish, so it's hard to have a conversation and answer you. The bottom line is I'm pretty sure for the contract you signed off on, okay? At the age of 65, your primary becomes Medicare, and you'll have to get a secondary. I'll double check the contract, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is.
No, that's not.
That's a contract you signed. I
that's
believe
not-
you were actually,
No.
I believe you were actually union president at that time.
No, I wasn't.
I'll
No,
check.
I was not.
I'm gonna check.
No, But you said that though. That's why I wanted to double check.
Whether he said it or not, and I don't know if he said it or not, the contract is the contract.
Right.
So it doesn't,
Yeah, but then this person that is a mechanic, that he only been here 6 years, he's going to get that secondary insurance after he's 65. What is the difference between him and me?
It's in a different contract.
different contract.
Just
And-
just as that.
And we don't even know if that person's gonna work as long as you did here. He may decide to
So,
move on.
so you penalizing me because I put my 30 years.
We're
You
not
certainly don't.
penalizing you, the union the Teamsters.
we've been fighting this.
Let me answer you, let me say this comment. The Teamsters signed off on that contract.
No, we did
Yeah,
not. We've
yes,
been
you
fighting
did.
it
Yeah,
for the
you
last.
did.
No, we did not.
Okay.
And this being on record, we did not sign that contract.
Yes, you
It was bogus signatures. Bogus.
Now-
Bogus. Everybody should know.
Now it's a bogus signature?
Yes,
Like
it's
it's
different.
always a
The Teamsters,
conspiracy.
the Teamsters?
It was your lawyer, the Teamsters lawyer. that
My
he-
signature's not bogus, I'm
No
not-
representative for our union.
Your lawyer was bogus too in the situation?
No representative for our union.
Okay,
Because
thank you.
one other persons have to be there. But anyways, this should be in record. That was going on, and you said what you said.
Okay.
All right? Absolutely.
Oh, and
Listen,
another
I just
thing.
have one comment. This is an embarrassment. Pablo Pulido put 30 years of service as a village employee retiring, and all he wants is to have the village cover him just like everybody else who retired in the village, who are even on this board now, to use the village benefits as their secondary insurance once he gets Medicare as his primary insurance. That's what he's asking. And Jim, you did say that at the last meeting, because I even questioned it. You said that he was gonna get secondary insurance from the village after he gets Medicare as his primary.
Okay,
That's what he wants, but that's okay. It's an embarrassing. He's coming up here saying, why can't you help me? I dedicated my time here. You're giving it to somebody who has only been here for 6 years and making him a supervisor when he's supervising no one. That's his question. It's legitimate.
And
It's
I'm trying to answer,
legitimate.
I'm trying to answer it, Melanie, the best I can. I'm trying to tell you that the contract that he signed off on, and I do believe he was either president or vice president at the time. Okay, if you want the whole story, we can talk about it. I'll take 2 minutes to talk about it. At that particular time, the insurance, that contract was settled based upon what the employees wanted at that time. And every employee got a handsome check because of an issue with lunch hour. Thousands. Each employee got thousands. And they signed off on it.
Is that right?
Per the
That was
contract,
retroactive
per
money.
the
They have
contract that they
nothing with
negotiated.
insurance.
And this is public information, folks. This isn't hidden. They signed off on, no,
This is,
yes, it does.
Come on.
It does, because in that
All right,
contract
let's move
was
on.
that portion
I'm
of the
sorry
agreement.
that
No,
you're
no,
saying
it's-
it like this.
It's true.
you guys use that to say that we signed on the insurance. And that wouldn't say that you were doing something wrong.
Go ahead.
I just want to comment on this situation, whatever it is, I don't understand how the board is going to bring people in to work for the village if this board does not advocate for the employees after retirement.
Yes.
Whatever the situation is, you should be working together outside of this gathering here to help an employee that was clearly a lifetime employee. So whatever the argument is, you should be advocating to a village employee.
I probably shouldn't say this, but what the hell? Everybody's saying anything tonight. Ask any village employee, police, highway, water, sewer, village hall, if I don't advocate for that. Ask-
So do the same for everyone.
So do the
They
same
say
for
that's
Pablo.
What about me?
Do the same for Pablo.
Why?
Okay, go
Is
ahead.
it because he's
I would
Spanish?
just like to
But when election
explain-
time comes, we're going on the Spanish people looking for their votes.
I would just like to explain for the record
Huh?
that every contract, especially labor contracts, that are periodically negotiated, there is a labor attorney for the village, there is a union attorney for the people who work here, and there is a representative either from the PBA or from the DPW that sits in those negotiations, sometimes for months, and they negotiate a contract that is signed off by the union and the village. When that contract, so the people who work at this village rightfully are represented by their union and their union's labor attorney. And so,
Obviously, Elise, there's a lot of questions
Can she
about the
finish?
validity of
Can
the
she
thing
please
that was
finish?
on the last
I'm
contract.
finished.
So let's just, I
We're
know
only
you're just
using the
trying
word
to,
validity 'cause we're not
you're just trying to
pushing our
echo
agenda.
what D'Onofrio and DeSalvo are saying. That's okay. You know, he made, thank you for making that statement. I think it's wrong.
I'm just,
Let's
Peter, I
talk.
apologize for this. I do. Now,
Welcome
You
to
don't have to
Hannah Falls.
apologize. This
Welcome to Hannah Falls.
this is the public,
It's a
okay?
little bit worse.
This is the only place
excuse me,
that they
excuse
can
me,
tell you what
excuse
they're
me.
feeling.
You just can't talk.
Yes.
No,
Okay.
no, you can't.
Yes.
You can make tough decisions
Trustee
and not expect the taxpayer to stay out of pocket every time.
Excuse me. Mike, can you, there's someone
At
talking.
my meeting, at my first meeting, Pablo got up and told his story, and I was devastated. I was really shook up with that. So right after that, I went out and tried to find out what the story was. And they went and they told me that there was a payout that, I don't know. I asked as many people.
The coin has
Hey,
two
let me
Excuse me,
finish.
excuse me.
Trustee has
And
the
you
floor.
got thousands
What are you, a judge?
I know, what is this, a judge? Excuse me.
And you got thousands of dollars signed off.
What did she do?
And when you retired, your Medicare took over as your primary.
I'm going to show you the real papers because the coin has two faces. I'm going to show you. And I have recordings of you, D'Onofrio, talking that you were going to fix this. Now you got it.
Was anybody here in that story that night that I heard it? shocked, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I want to show you.
Absolutely.
I want to show you.
Any other-
Single
any-
one,
any
he
other-
said He said
a
it.
minority that he can't get it is helped after 30
Joe,
Well,
years?
we have to prove that.
I will
You
prove.
signed your.
I will prove it to you,
That's all
100%.
we need, we didn't prove it was either negotiated
100%.
that way or it wasn't.
okay.
But it makes the town look bad.
May I have a?
Yes.
We're gonna have to do that.
May I have a motion to pay the bills and claims? For fiscal year 23-24. A lot of it's FEMA.
Yeah, motion to pay the bills and claims.
Roll call. Okay, Hunter, good luck to you. Roll call.
Trustee Guerrero?
No.
Trustee Ramos?
Yes.
Trustee Carroll?
Yeah.
Trustee Salvo?
Yes.
Mayor Donovan?
Yes, thank you so much, motion carried. Okay. Approve the following minutes. I'm gonna do these individually because that second budget workshop on March 6th, I didn't make it. Is that one
The last one.
No, it was the last one.
March 6th? Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Okay, so can I have a motion to approve the regular meeting that we had here on March the 4th?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
You have it? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion. We had a special meeting on March the 4th, same date, minutes. Motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor? Roll call? Roll call.
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Ramos?
Abstain.
Trustee Carroll?
Yes.
Trustee DeSalvo?
Yes.
Mayor Donovan?
Yes, motion carried. Next one, we had a budget workshop on March 2. And we approve the minutes.
Motion?
Is there a second?
Second.
Was everyone there? All in favor?
Yes.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Second budget workshop on March the 6th. May we have a motion to approve?
Motion?
Is there a second?
Second.
May I have roll call?
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Ramos?
Yes.
Trustee Carroll?
Yes.
Trustee DeSalvo?
Yes.
Mayor Donovan?
Abstain. Motion carried. Thank you. Next is to approve a public hearing for the tentative budget for fiscal year 24-25 on April 1. May I have a motion to approve that to be on the agenda?
Make a motion we approve the public hearing date, April 1.
And that will be at 6:30, April 1. Is there a second?
Second?
No.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion. Next, we have a budget transfer. Budget transfer in the amount of $10,000 from general fund to workman's comp. This is to replenish workman's comp account.
Can I ask before we vote on that? So workman's comp is an insurance and we pay a premium, is that what it is? Is that what this is for? This is about the third time we've added $10,000 to this account.
Yeah, the current company we're with does tend to fluctuate a little bit. So we, the treasurer looked into switching to a different company so we can have a little harder premiums. So I think when we present the budget, we'll have, I think we were able to find some savings with going with a different company. But yeah, sometimes it will fluctuate too if there's any more activity perhaps for workman's comp.
Okay.
Will sometimes increase what you're paying a little bit.
Because I saw on the new budget, it's only 77,000.
Right.
We're putting on that line.
Yeah, but we're probably gonna most definitely go with a different company.
Nice,
the
that's a
float-
big city.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, may I have a motion?
so moved.
May I have a second? Second by trustee Ramos, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Okay, another budget amendment to increase the appropriation budget G 8130-0400 sewer plant contractual for $326,325.18 and the revenue code G 5990 appropriated funds for the same amount. This is a, what this is a, it's a bill, we have to pay it, but it's, all of this is covered by a $441,000 grant that we had received. So,
What grant did we receive? $441,000 grant we received for the sewer?
for the sewer,
For the sewer?
was a, yes,
Okay, so
it
I'm
was quite a
sorry.
while ago.
Okay, I'll explain it. So when they say a sewer contractual, and you want to move money in the sewer contractual in the amount of $326,000, because right now that line item is, it has $299,000 already in it. But you want to increase it to make it 326? Is that what it is?
No, we're, the number that we're doing the transfer is for the total, is for the 326, 325, 18.
Okay, yes, sewer plant contractual for 326. Right now, that line item on the budget for 2023
Right.
says 299,650.
This would be in addition to that.
So 299 plus
But it's
326.
Yes, but the 326, because we have to show on the budget, you have to have revenue and credit, debit credit. So, this money comes from an EFC grant.
I guess I'm not getting, I did look at the adopted budget because I looked at that line item. When we say sewer contractuals, that's money that we're spending to run the plant outside of the salaries and outside of equipment. It's chemicals, it's electric, it's fuel, it's disposal fees for the silt, that kind of stuff. On the budget, we said we're gonna spend $299,000 for all that stuff. But now what you're asking for is to increase it to $326,000. Is that right? That's what I'm
But
not
that
understanding.
326 is coming from a grant, it's not from the budget line item, that 200 and something that you're reciting.
But you said it, budget line item 813004000. That's the line item that says
Right, that's what-
299.
That's where we're gonna put the revenue and pull from there to pay the bill.
Put the revenue and then pay for that.
Right, because it's coming from EFC.
Oh, that's not the
which is-
line item for the revenue, that's the line item for an expense. That's why I'm confused about this. And then you said another $326,000 for the appropriated fund balance. When you say fund balance, folks, fund balance means that your revenue is not matching up with your expense.
Yes.
So there's a balance, okay? And the balance in this occurrence is a deficit. It's a negative balance. So now they have to come up with the difference, appropriate it from somewhere else. So I guess what I'm not understanding before this gets approved is that, are you saying that those two line items become 326 more than what they are now? Or
Yes.
it just becomes 326
Yeah,
total?
I have to put it somewhere to increase the line to pay the bill. Because I'm taking money in, and I have to show money out. I can't just take it in and just,
I know, but it's not the same line items, it's not a revenue to, okay, I don't understand it, I can't even explain it to you guys.
I would suggest then that you come into the village hall anytime that you want and sit down with the treasurer.
No, you should discuss it and let
I'm
people
telling you, I
understand it.
am, I'm saying this
Explain it.
326,
Yeah.
this $326,325.18, all I can tell you is that this is coming from a grant. It's coming out of the 441,000, so we still have a little bit left that's going to probably be spent down the sewer plant.
And you can only use it for the sewer plant?
Yeah, that's what it was given
It's
for.
an
So it's
EFC.
only
We
good.
got EFC grant money, and we also got, I think, like 0%.
Why can't you have something like a
So,
graph,
do I have
so
a-
like
a
on an
motion to
easel
approve
and
this?
explain it?
So
Why,
So a motion by.
why is it so
Gonzalez, is there a
ambiguous?
second?
I made the motion.
Yeah, is there a second?
It's a lot of money.
You gotta pay for the grant, too.
You got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye, opposed?
Opposed.
Motion carries. Okay. All right, we need to close the village hall one day. We have a lot of cleaning and relocating records, and the clerk has asked that we approve that the village hall be closed. Actually, it says Friday, March 22. I would ask that you approve it.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second by Peter, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed?
I think Linnea been doing a great job
Motion
organizing
carries.
the records, so thank you.
Next on the agenda is for the Hopewell Police Department to participate in the Orange County Stop DWI Traffic Safety Program for the time period beginning March the 10th to 2024, last week, and ending January 1, 2025. The funding is from the Orange County Stop DWI exclusively for DWI traffic enforcement during the times of the year when statistically show there is an increase in drinking and driving. Can we approve, that's a grant, can we approve it?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed?
Do we have a contract here? An intermunicipal agreement?
Yeah, he does, it should have been in here. Yeah.
It's there.
I do have it.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's there.
Oh, it's on the back of the memo from Jason.
Yeah, you need an authorization.
Okay, so may I have authorization, is it Jason or my, who's signing it?
It's the mayor.
Okay, may I have authorization to sign this contract with the Orange County Stop DWI Safety Program?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second by Peter, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion. All right, I would ask the board to approve the next memo that I've written to all of you. I'm asking the Board of Trustees to accept this letter that Jason Turkey has passed his probation in the position of Chief of Police in the Village of Highland Falls. Jason's doing a great job. I think we meet every morning. Very few ones we don't meet. He tells me of all the different programs he started over there and assigning work to different police officers and sergeants, and that's what we wanted. So I would ask you to approve in completing successfully his probation.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Got it, Lenny?
Mr. Raines.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion. Okay, this next one is an intermunicipal agreement between the town and the village. Actually, the town brought this to me because they needed this for FEMA to show that we're working together, which we are. And that, actually, we've always had one. Somewhere along it expired. So, at least you looked at this,
I did.
and you talked to Justin.
I did. This is an amendment that simply extends it and after a period of 5 years with an automatic renewal at the end of 5 years unless either the town or the village terminates it.
And I would sign this, and then it needs to be notarized, correct?
That's correct.
So may I have a motion to sign this intermunicipal agreement with the town of Highlands Shared Services in the Highway Department?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion. Town of Highlands Youth Easter Bunny Fundraiser Memorial Park. Pictures with Easter Bunny this Saturday, the 23rd, 11 to 1. The insurance is up in the air right now, there's no insurance provided. I'm gonna make some phone calls tomorrow. We can approve this pending insurance. And, I would ask that I have the Greek, flag raising at 2.
So the location was actually changed because it's so close to the date. We're actually gonna do it on the library porch
Oh, nice.
instead of Memorial
Oh,
Park.
nice.
We wanted to get information out so that families could,
Nice. They look nice then.
so it's gonna be the egg hunt, then the pictures with the Easter Bunny, and right after, there's gonna be crafts for our kids at the library.
So we don't need to have insurance, that's up to the
No.
library.
What?
That's, you don't, I don't need to check out insurance because
No,
you.
no, no, no,
That's up to the
because,
library.
because it was so close and we weren't
Yeah,
able
no, I
to do
understand
it.
that, I appreciate that,
We,
thank you.
we
It probably would have worked, but you made the change, it's good.
Yeah,
It looked
so that's what's gonna happen now. Egg hunt, then go to the library to get pictures with the Easter Bunny. It's
And
all
then come
on
down,
donation,
and then come down and dance with the Greeks.
and then go dance with the Greeks,
We're
absolutely.
gonna have Greek food, Greek music, okay. So, yeah, you're right, so we don't have, thank you, we don't really have to, we don't have to approve this.
So you're not using the park, the
No,
Memorial Park at all, right?
No,
The-
we're gonna, go ahead.
No.
The
All
library
right.
wanted to put it out to the public sooner,
That's
and we
great.
told them we were waiting for this meeting, and so after a discussion,
All right,
my
sounds
business is gonna provide the
Alright.
insurance at the library, so we can do it on the porch.
good. All right.
It was just timing.
The next one is the third annual Fun Day, Saturday, June 1, and you always had that at Pickens, and now you're gonna have it at Roe Park because they're fixing that field. Hold on, guys, hold on.
So, no, it's change again.
It's changed again.
I had a meeting with, the superintendent
Recently.
last week, and he actually offered the intermediate school to do Family Fun Day, so that we would have more electricity, and we would have, I'd be able to put out a whole bunch more different entertainment that we would be able to at Monroe. I'm looking to potentially get at least 4 or 5 live bands to play this year. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I invite everybody to
That's
come
great.
out, it's a free event. So that's, I'm sorry, that was changed too.
That's fine, makes it easy. And I guess you guys like the changes, that's good. All right, next is to approve the 2024 Farmers Market to begin June 16th and ends on October the 27th, Sundays, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. 6 a.m. it has here.
For setup.
That's for setup, that's for the vendors.
To be located
Or whoever wants to bring coffee.
Farmers get up early.
to be located in Lot 2.
I make a motion,
Second.
because it's a great place to go meet people that grow their own food.
This is really farmer's market, vision, carols, piso, all good stuff, yes.
Unbelievable. Okay. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second, Jim DeSalvo, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Liaison reports, Trustee Guerrero.
Oh, I thought mayor would comment.
Nah, I'm gonna change it.
You're gonna change it around today? I'm
Yeah.
first? Okay. Never last, I'm always first. Okay, so I only have, it's gonna be short, right? I don't have a building department report this month. It's coming at the next meeting. But I do wanna summarize the budget workshops. We've had 3 so far, and here's the thing. The plan was brought to us by Mr. DeSalvo, he's the budget officer. And in his plan, he's presented your village taxes, your water bills, your sewer bills, they're all going up, okay? There's no cuts in any of the spending, even though 3 village employees in the water department have been eliminated. Instead, we privatize the water department, but paying more for privatizing it, not less, okay? Village taxes, in his plan, is gonna go up about 7.5% by my calculations, which is 7.5. much, much higher than that 2% tax cap, which he said we were only passing the resolution as a precautionary. But he knew full well that he was gonna go well beyond it, okay? So no, your taxes are not gonna go up because of the flood. Your taxes were gonna go well above the tax cap before the flood, because we were already drowning in debt before the flood. The water revenues, which comes to us from you paying your water bills, is projected to go up from 496,000 to 658,000, which is a 32% increase in revenues coming from you, okay? The sewer revenues, which comes from you also, giving to us, paying your sewer bills, is projected to go from 945,000 to 984,000. Now, we all know that your sewer bill is calculated by multiplying your water bill by 185%. So I'm not really sure how he came up with that number for the sewer bill. It's gonna go up, but not as much as it should. But I'm sure Mr. DeSalvo will enlighten us on how he came up with that number. The other thing is that the village debt, as it currently stands, is around 16 million. That's how much you guys owe, okay?
Wow.
You have to give us a minimum of $1,421,800 starting this year for us to make the minimum payments and not go in default on all these loans. That's gonna come from you, okay? We already started the water main project and on the ORA, which means we have to borrow another 1.4 million on top of the $16 million debt. All right? So this is what I have to say. We don't have to go over the tax cap if we cut spending. I've been saying that to you all along. And if there really is, like he said, a real surplus, $1 million surplus in the water fund, $1 million surplus in the sewer fund, why are we increasing your water bills, right? We should be using these surplus that you already gave us to give you a break. So why are we going up on your water rent? All right, one last thing about the budget. I asked for the budget actuals, okay? The budget actuals, and Mr. DeSalvo gave it to me, print out, so thank you for providing them. What are budget actuals? Budget actuals will compare what we thought we were gonna spend to what we really spent, okay? Those are the actuals. And these numbers look pretty grim. According to this budget actuals, for the fiscal year that ended in May 31st, 2023, our expenses exceeded our revenues by $2,819,927. This year, which isn't even over yet, is going to be over in May 31st, 2024, our expenses have already exceeded our revenues by almost $3 million. It's not balancing out, okay? And Mr. DeSalvo keeps telling us that Noah, our financial advisor, tells him that we are in a good position to keep borrowing.
What? Whoa,
Is that what you want to do?
what bank do you go to? I'm going for a loan.
We're going to be buried in debt, more debt. I think Noah means he's in a good position to sell us more debt, but that is not what I want to do. So I'm asking the board that we not spend money we don't have. We need to cut spending. That's all.
Jim?
We're getting actual figures. Thank you.
All right, so a couple things. Sewer plant is doing well. They had some more work done down there on trying to save us some money by getting the furnace changed over, which is a good thing. And they're going to use the gases that are generated to help heat down at the furnace. Down at the sewer plant. Also, I got a response, well, I did, and our engineer from the New York State DOT, regional personnel, very hard to do, just so everybody knows, try to call the DOT, it's not an easy thing. But they are in contact with us about all of the New York State DOT water that comes off of 9W and floods Mearns Ave, the back of Mearns Avenue. So there is a plan that was drawn up many years ago on how to address that. And we showed them that plan, and we're working with them to try to get some of that water, not to do the devastation that it continues to do, not on just the biblical storm that we had, but on regular storms. That, and they're still not giving me too much information what they're going to do with Mearns Avenue. They said they were going to work on the relief on the curbs there. Across the road is still going to be the homeowner's responsibility. I don't think so. I'm going to put my stake in the ground and try to fight for us on that. A couple other things. I'm trying to be, positive here, people. Tomorrow's the first day of spring. Anybody that wants to learn how to plant stuff, please stop by my house. I would be more than happy to teach you.
I'll come,
Please come.
because
Please
taxes
come.
are going up, so I need
Please
to know.
come. I would be more than happy to work with anybody.
I'll
So anyway.
buy my own seeds though, thank you.
I hope you could. You know why, Mr. Joyce? Because you made the American dream. I didn't want to say this. You have achieved the American dream. You came here 20-some years ago, you bought a house,
30
and you
years ago.
sold it 20-some years
30
later, and you made
years ago.
$350,000. So please, bring seed for everybody.
No, I made,
Now,
I
I
made
have the
more.
floor,
I made
sir.
more,
He
and
was
you're
active
right.
military also,
And I
how about
did
you?
serve in the military, and I give back to this great country
I said-
that opened its arms to me and
Congratulations.
welcomed me and
Congratulations on
gave me a
making,
future.
congratulations on making the American dream.
I think
Congratulations.
America-
Finish up, please.
All right.
Finish up.
So tomorrow is the first day of spring. The vernal equinox is coming around. It's a big event for everybody. And next Monday is the lunar eclipse. Another thing that some of us like to be involved in, and it's a great time to get out outdoors and see things that are actually happening. Next Sunday, or this Sunday coming, is Palm Sunday, Purim, and the following weekend is Easter. I hope everybody has an opportunity to enjoy that with their family. At the last meeting, I did talk about the solar eclipse. There are some scams out there. Please be careful if you're going to buy glasses to make sure you get the right ones, or go to the seminars where they will teach you how to make the proper viewing glasses, and they have free ones there as well. The DEC has on their website Living Green Life. Everybody wants to live green, go to the DEC's website. There's a lot on there about living green and how we can, try to save this planet. Everybody knows it's a problem. Also, the National Flood Insurance Program has a training thing going on, and you can go to floodplain at decny.org, and they will, everybody knows we have problems here with flooding. So it's a great website to go to, get information, and they got some good training videos on that. And I don't know if everybody, I got one last one, Mr. Mayor. This is Fix a Leak Week. Again, save water.
Where do you find this stuff?
Oh, it's, Mr. Mayor, I could come in with that.
I know you could.
I've been there before. Anyway, and I got put in the corner. Anyway, it's all good, it's all good. But anyway, really, fix a leak week, saving water. The more water we save, whether it's from leaky faucets,
Lower
your
taxes, you
toilets.
won't need the garden. You'll save water.
Mike doesn't know how to obey the rules.
I'm sorry.
Checking for
You're not
leaks,
sorry.
outdoor leaks, anything like that. They have different sections on this page, and if you go to the EPA.gov, it's a great place, and they have a lot of stuff for young kids
to learn how to conserve and save water. That's all I got, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, buddy. Very interesting. Pete?
Jimmy came in, I want to talk about the water, but, before I got back, everything was pretty steady.
I'm sorry, but people cannot hear, so ask people to don't talk when people are trying to.
Can you speak louder?
Well, I'm gonna, just go up and probably talk to the, plant manager, Gail, probably tomorrow. I wanna find out why they have to close down the valves up there every time it rains. It doesn't seem to me that the rains have been that heavy, but, I get a report, I read the report, and they close it down and open them up again the next morning at 6:30. I don't know why there's such an interruption on so much.
Sometimes on the heavy rains, especially, but you said that it washes the more mud and dirt in, so they shut it down. But let him, go. That's good, I'm glad you're going up there.
Yeah, so I gotta get more familiar with him, I didn't know, if there was that much to do with that.
Good.
But I wanna get the knowledge of what they're doing. It
Thank you.
seems like they're very, very cooperative, very nice to work with. I think it's a good idea to have them company in there, from everything I've heard. Thanks for the share.
Thank you, Pete. Ken?
Yeah, just a couple of corrections on the budget. You know, I spent a lot of time trying to put together the budget with the treasurer and folks in Village Hall. And we had the budget meetings, and some of them got a little heated, and most of them went pretty well. But just a couple of little tidbits. First of all, we could do nothing. We could be zero if you want. It's up to the board. The board's gonna vote on it after we have a tentative. There's still some time to work on the budget after we present the tentative to the public. I don't know where the numbers I just heard regarding water, 3 million, 2 million, I don't know. I don't know where that number's coming from in any of the information that was given to Trustee Guerrero. The only thing that's increasing in the sewer is our anticipated revenue, because we are conservative with our revenues. The bill's not going up at all. Your sewer bill's not gonna go up at all. There's a proposal to make an adjustment to the water bill, but we're gonna do that so that, and make sure it doesn't affect your sewer bill. Your sewer bill will not go up, other than based upon your usage. If you use more water, I don't have control over that. We are not increasing the water rate to the usage fee. So, you know, like, I don't know where we're getting this from. It's just a constant attack to make an agenda. The proposal is for $100 total for the year for water. That would be the increase, $100. You don't have to do it. The board can make that decision if you don't want to. It would be $50 extra per bill. The proposal is to put it on the flat rate so that people can budget for it the best way possible. The general fund, like the town, had to go through their budget process and had a 10% increase, not calling the town out. They had to do what they had to do. And a lot of it is from FEMA expenses and infrastructure expenses. Some of the folks that get up here and scream and yell at us for now doing the infrastructure were the same folks during election time saying that the place is crumbling. So which is it? The place is crumbling, or we're doing investment in infrastructure and now we have to pay for it? It's just, it doesn't have to be combative every single time. And I hear people making comments like crooks. Crook? I have to pay the same taxes that I'm going to vote on. Shake your head up and down all you want. You have no proof of the comments you make. None. We just like to make them. Never called any of you folks a crook when you were running for office. Never. Might not agree with your propaganda, but never called you a crook.
I think it's your demeanor.
So, you know what, Pat? My demeanor?
Yeah.
My demeanor?
Yeah. I think it's your demeanor.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, when you're being called a crook, Pat, how are you supposed to
Again, I
demeanor?
think it's your demeanor.
It's my demeanor defines a crook.
Jim, wait,
Yeah, okay, thanks a lot, buddy.
Not just a minute, she was so
Bottom line is-
tasty.
billable
Yeah,
for
the
4
bottom line is-
911 and
You're gonna
911.
have to speak louder.
Trustee,
You're gonna have to speak louder.
IDA.
otherwise
Speak
the
louder
mayor's
over
gonna
here.
stop the meeting.
It's okay.
You're not done yet, please finish.
Okay, it's fine.
No, let's not interrupt each
No,
other.
it's okay, forget it, I'm good.
Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I
Motion.
have something to say.
May I have a motion to
Public
adjourn?
comment.
Public comment.
Public comment.
Public comment.
Say something?
All right.
No, I have something important to
No,
say,
that's
you're not
okay.
gonna stop me.
That's okay.
Um,
I didn't
just
realize
a
that.
follow-up from last week, we have some information on the shrub that we discussed.
What is that? Shrubs. Oh, shrubs or trees?
I'm sorry, the information's there. Alina Olivia, village resident.
We need an answer for a record.
Okay.
Say,
Okay, what's your address?
you're a lawyer.
Yeah.
My address is
Yeah.
16
Yeah.
Parliament Terrace, New York, 1019. Today I have a different message for everyone, okay? It's not about politics or board meetings. It is about awareness for distracted driving. It is very easy in our world today to become distracted no matter what we're doing in our daily routines. It is easy to forget that driving in a vehicle on the road is a task of its own. And this topic means a lot to me because today, March 18th, marks the 7-year anniversary of the car accident that killed my mother, my niece, and my nephew. They were at a complete stop in traffic on the highway and were hit from behind at 77 miles an hour by a teenage boy who was reading a text message. This boy never even touched his brakes, and he walked away without a scratch. My sister's kids, Jace, who was 5, and Brooklyn was 9, were both killed instantly on impact, and it took the firemen 45 minutes to cut my nephew out of the car. My mother, Linda, was just 50 years old, and she died about 2 hours later at the hospital. Talk about turning your world upside down. I spent 2 weeks with my family in Oklahoma, planning and executing a triple funeral that had over 1,000 people in attendance. I came home and for 6 months, I cried all day, every day. For 2 years, I didn't dream at all. It was just darkness. And it took me even longer than that to come back to a stable mindset. And I'm sharing this with you all in hopes that maybe the next time you are distracted in your vehicles, you will think twice about who else is on the road with you. And on a more basic level of just being distracted in life, take a moment to breathe, think about what's really important, and let's be more positive with what we put forth in our community. I have just a little bit of info for you guys to have on this incident. I have a few extras I'll put at the back of the room if anyone would like to take a look. But all the things that go on here, there are more important things in life. And everything is solvable, and we need to be more cohesively working together and thinking about how to put some positive.
Thank you, Anyone Sheriff. else?
December 6, 2021, the board, although obviously not the exact same board, voted unanimously to opt out of having a cannabis dispensary in the village, which I agree with. One, those points right there. Two, it's a walkable village. It screams to our kids, which they don't need to hear this. But now, we have not one, but 2 illegal dispensaries on Main Street. So what is this board and our police department doing about it?
Great question, and I agree. And over the last 3 weeks, I've had several, 3, 4 meetings with the chief, the police chief, and he's investigating both smoke shops. Smoke shop is a smoke shop, but we're talking about You and I, you're talking about cannabis, and I'm talking about it with the chief, and so if they're doing it, it's hidden.
It's not that hidden, believe me.
Well, I haven't been
If
in
I
there.
walked in there tomorrow, they would sell it to me, and it's not
No,
just.
that's not what I said.
It's not just weed,
That's not what I
it's
said.
edibles and oils and
Yeah.
whatever.
The police chief is on.
I'm gonna add to that actually. So in the last couple of days, the drug and alcohol officer from the schools in our community came to me, stating that many of our youth have been going in there and they have been able to buy stuff. There's also a thing in there called Creighton. It's on his windows. It is a horrible, horrible substance for anyone to take. It's legal, but it acts as though, in the brain the same way that opioids work. So it's highly addictive and people have also died from taking this stuff. I would definitely please ask for Thorpe and the detectives to make sure that our kids are not buying this stuff. I am so pro kid. It would break my heart if something happened to any one of these kids.
Sally, you're not the only one that's pro-kid.
I
We
know
all
you are.
And
I
we're
know
on,
you are.
and we're on it. I'll be honest with you, maybe you guys will disagree. I don't even want whatever a normal smoke shop is, I don't even want that.
Agreed.
It doesn't look good on our street.
Agreed.
The flashing lights and the
Agreed, yeah.
baloney down there across from Andy's, in my opinion, is not what I want Main Street to be.
Agreed.
Okay, but
What can
if
we
it's
do?
legal, I can't, do anything about that.
But it's not legal if they sell to our
But that's what
kids.
we're checking out.
It's still not legal because the board voted no
To what?
to have a dispensary.
Cannabis.
Yeah.
But I know that, that's why we're checking it out. Say he didn't sell cannabis, say he didn't sell these other things that are laced maybe with pot, whatever that is. Then he would be legal. We didn't say it couldn't be a smoke shop.
Yeah, I don't think it would look the same on the
We're talking
outside if
about
it was
the
just
same
a
thing,
smoke
so
shop
let's-
like cigars or
We're
whatever.
agreeing.
If he's
All right.
selling to children under 18,
Yeah,
it's illegal. He can legally sell those things if you're over 18 somewhere.
Actually,
But
if
it
it's
is
21.
absolutely
I can't tell you what's going
illegal.
on, but something's going on. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Signage rules that were established many, many years ago, and how you affect some of the signage.
Yes.
And we're working on the comprehensive plan, we just had a meeting, I thought it was pretty productive, we were talking about Main Street and the commercial business. Sally?
I'm sorry.
Okay. I got you, I got you.
When was?
We were, it was this past Saturday, the comprehensive plan meeting.
No.
Yes.
It was posted,
Oh.
and anyway, just so you know, we were talking extensively about things. Ms. Gray was there, right? I thought it was kind of productive, we got a lot discussed. We're not done with it yet, and it was a workshop, wait, it was a workshop, it's not a public hearing yet, because we took into account some of the things that were said at the last public hearing. But with that being said, I'm trying to get to your point now, and I want to get to it, because I know everyone wants to get out of here. We're going to be working on the zoning, right? And that'll be after the comprehensive plan is passed. And when we work on that zoning, maybe we can start to look at what type of uses will be allowed on the Main Street corridor.
Yes.
Okay? So, I mean, it's a long way to get around there, but it's something that we should think about. All right?
Okay.
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Thank you.
Wait, it's very lighthearted.
What's your name?
Dee Moreno,
Who are you?
260 Main Street, President of the Chamber of Commerce.
And where do you live?
I live in West Point, but my business is 260 Main Street.
Another one.
Yeah, well, I mean, pay taxes, I should be okay to say something. I just wanted to put it out there, I know it's just a little bit lighthearted, and I promised the local business, I would mention this at both meetings, the local, the village and the town. Barnstormers is having their bunny breakfast brunch, bunny breakfast buffet on the 24th, the 23rd, 24th, and the 30th of March. So I just wanted to mention it.
because they're not here to
Easter
save
Bunny's
themselves.
here for the first time more than ever.
It's good.
I don't know what that says, but
We get Santa a lot too.
we get Santa a lot,
Well,
but
we
we never
like
had
the
the
Easter Bunny, and we like Santa.
I have a motion to adjourn. Motion. All in favor? Aye.
Which one?